Hi guys, it's episode 5 of I'd Back That, Kickstarter podcast from myself and our assembled peanut gallery. I'm Shane Tyree, and with us is Tabitha Gray Smith, one of our co-hosts, Nate Taylor, artist of some repute, mostly good, much like myself. The jury's still out on our ability for drawing large cats and such, but there you have it. We have Michael Moore, one of our backers and Kickstarter experts from the Wayward Backer Group, along with Andrew Foster, our silent but deadly British correspondent from the lovely British Isles. Thank you for thanks for hanging out with us. You want to go ahead and take it away, Tabs? You want to tell us what we're going to be talking about this week? And we missed a couple weeks there too. What was that about?
Somebody was really busy doing art, and then I was really busy doing social media stuff, and you totally forgot Lucian.
I did?
Lucian
was me.
I'm of no importance.
He's the cloaker. Every time he doesn't talk, it shows up as my name. So.
Right. He's incognito as Shane Tyree.
Hello, folks.
Yes, but finally doing a hangout. We were really super busy, and I'm sorry that we missed a couple weeks, but the business must come first.
And a lot of business we have too. In addition to finishing up the Pairs project that some of you guys may have seen from the last couple weeks, we've ran a micro project for Start Studios' Writhing Dark Kickstarter that ran last year. It's kind of like just a little pre-order so that we could take advantage of the delay. That had to be run, and then a whole bunch of other cool things that we have prepped for launching here on the 20th that we'll be talking about a little bit later on. But right now, really quickly, just to start off, is anybody watching anything on Kickstarter that they want to plug or tell people about, or things they think are cool?
There's a deck from Warpunk Games, Gothic. It's close to funding. It's got about $3 grand left that it needs, and I think it looks awesome.
What's it called?
Gothic, Gothique. There's 2 different decks. There's one that's primary colors and one that's in like green and purple and stuff. And I think they're both really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm backing that as well.
Style a little bit, maybe.
It's like a stained glass window style. They look like stained glass windows, all the cards, and yeah, the kings and queens of all the suits are really interesting. I can't really describe this. Michael, you got anything?
It's I guess fairly traditional as far as the face cards go. The color schemes are pretty cool. There's like a purple and green on the one, and was it yellow, blue, and red on the other. It's pretty striking, I think.
A lot of big Kickstarter or card projects are either closing up or launching this week. You got Goonies from Albino Dragon and Nat Iwata. Looks pretty cool. What little bit they have up there right now. You've got the design. Oh goodness, I'm going to blank on it too. It's up on KickTrack right now. I think it's Design Unlimited. The name of their Design Unscripted. That's it. Is finishing up this week. Of course, ours is finishing up, although ours isn't really super huge. And then you've got Tenebra from 4 p.m. Is Hotcakes already closed out?
Nope, they're still going.
This week?
They have how many days left?
Well, we'll tell you in a second.
14 days. They still have 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've got 2 weeks. They close at the end of the month. But yeah, there's a lot of playing card projects up there right now that either just went up or are closing out. So I'm checking out this Gothic one. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's the second of a series from Warpunk. The first one was the Zombie Black and Zombie White.
Oh, I saw those. Those are pretty.
Yeah, those are really cool looking, man. Warpunk, that's the name of the company that makes them.
Let's see, what else am I backing? That's good. There's the Rare Elements, RPG, Fantasy, Currency, and Coins. That's a good one. There's 10 days left on that.
What about this one, the Elements playing cards by Alien Inc.? I hadn't seen that. I noticed some people have some mixed feelings about it. What do you guys think of that one?
I'm backing it.
I'm in for a deck, yeah.
It's I like the artwork. I don't know. I'm new to Alien Inc. Give them a shot.
I gotta say, from the stuff that I've seen from these guys, this is the best one so far. And not mean to diss not meaning to diss their other stuff. It's just, you know, a lot of their other pips and pip designs and what have you seemed kind of, you know, plain. These ones look like there was, I don't know. I just really like them.
Yeah, I passed on all the other ones before, and this is the one that made me decide to do it.
The other big one I noticed that people are really digging that launched this week was Muertos.
Oh yeah.
The wooden had the wooden limited edition.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty wild.
Fun with lasers.
As far as playing card stuff goes, that's some of the cool stuff that's up there. And then of course Kaiju A Go Go. Have you guys, any of you guys seen that yet?
Yes.
Not yet.
I have not.
It's amazeballs. So if they fund, which looks like, I mean, they're really doing pretty well for having just gotten started. But if they fund, it's a video game kind of in the style of what you might imagine. Like if any of you guys played Monster Arena 2000 on the old Super Nintendo, where you basically two giant monsters fighting kind of in a forced perspective in a city. It's that, except with like a 4X strategy element layered on top of it. But yeah, if you guys have not seen that, I really recommend you go at least just to watch the video, because the video is a riot. So
That looks awesome.
are you watching anything, Nate, right now, or?
No, I'm actually coming off of Pairs. I'm just starting to get back into Kickstarter and exploring it again. I feel like I fell way behind and I missed tons of good stuff.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't actually be wasting as much time as I have been on it lately, but because we're getting our project ready to go and we're closing up the other one, it's always cool to kind of take a peek and see what's going on out there.
Yeah.
What about you, Tabs? You got to be watching at least one or two.
No, not really. I have friends that are launching stuff later in June, so I've been kind of holding off, saving up some money for them. So I've been trying not to tempt myself.
So speaking of the stuff that we have going on, you're going to be, we'd asked some people with a project that we're helping you out with, the Sherlock Holmes project, to take a look at the Thunderclap for that, to help us get the word out about it when it launches, even if they're not planning maybe on supporting it. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Sherlock here? I'm going to close my window really quickly so that you guys don't hear the Armageddon-like downpour that's going on out there while you do that.
Why don't you give us the rain? That's a good idea. Yeah, so for those who don't know, we're testing out Thunderclap, which is this really cool service where if you get at least 100 people in to say, yeah, I'll support you by doing a shout out on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, it compiles all of them and sends out the message at the same time, which is really cool for social media because that makes things trend. And on Facebook, I don't know how many people are aware, but Facebook decides who to give your links to. Like if you post something on your Facebook, not all your Facebook friends see it. So the more people in general that post the link, the more people it shows it to. So it might, if you just posted it for me on your own, it might show it to like 5 of your friends or 20 of your friends, whatever. But because if everybody's posting at the same time, it bumps that number up. So even if you only have 4 or 5 friends or 20 friends or however many friends you have, it helps the overall message spread. So it's a really cool service. It's called Thunderclap. It's at thunderclap.it. And it seems to be something that a lot of nonprofits are using to raise awareness of their fundraising. But it also is becoming more and more prevalent in the Kickstarter community. And I think it's really cool.
That's clever.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now to see how far we are away.
I think it's like 4 people. We only needed 4 more people now.
Wow. It was like 22 earlier. Wow, that's wild. So yeah, we only need 4 more people to click on it. Well, I understand it doesn't really collect any. It doesn't collect any information about your Facebook. It basically authorizes the website that we set up for the campaign to make a small post to your Facebook, just like she said.
Just once.
Project. And
yeah, just
that's
once.
it. Yeah, no NSA snooping, no targeted, body part enlargement ads, nothing like that.
Right. It doesn't save your passwords or anything like that. And you can totally, if you're on Twitter, you can totally remove the app afterwards, after it posts, and you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
You can also remove his permissions in your Facebook page too. If you just go to your privacy, it's right in that list. So even if you sign up for it and then after the post goes out and you're like, I don't want the, you just go down there and uncheck it and it's done. So it's not that bad. And you're right, Andrew. I mean, Andrew raises a point that, or so we think, that it's not, targeting any of that information. But when you actually sign up for the campaign and you record that information, that's part of the disclaimer. So that it basically states that we're not storing any of the data from the people that sign up for this thing. So unless they lie, which is of course a possibility, it's legit.
I think he was talking about the NSA.
Oh, but the NSA is always watching.
Yeah, the NSA is watching us no matter what we do.
They watched you eat, your British version of Wheaties this morning, man. Everything.
British version of Wheaties.
But yeah, cool. So that's awesome. There's only 4 people away, but we'll post a link to it in the YouTube channel or in the show notes down below. So if you guys haven't registered yet, or you're so inclined to help us out, that'd be huge. But I am actually not able to stay for the entire episode this week because I have to help my wife out. My little one had dental surgery today, so I have to kind of help. Since he's kind of drunk, it's adorable. I'm going to go watch him.
Was there a YouTube video about that?
I'd really love to get some video of him because he had a little bit of a puffy lip because they were in there messing around, so his lip's big. So in his drunken haze, he thought that he had a mustache. So pointing at it and saying, "Mustache hurts." Keep going like this with it's just amazing. So I'm gonna go watch that just so I can have that in my life, and then let my wife get a nap. But thank you guys for helping us. I mean, obviously with the Writhing Dark's got 2 hours left to go. I'm not really trying to plug it. It was really just like a little 2-week thing that we did for people who had been messaging us to get on board, and like all 200 of them pretty much did it like right away. To all the other people that have jumped on to pledge, I mean, all I can say is thank you for pushing it beyond anything that we thought it would do. Me and Lucian and Tabs were first talking about doing it. We were figuring that with those 200 orders for people that had been, wanted to be involved with the original project, we might clear $8,000, which would more than make it worthwhile, and we've blown way beyond that. So, I mean, if you really, really like the stuff and it speaks to you and it's something that you want to be a part of, then please, by all means, back it. But other than that, thank you very much for the support we've gotten. It's huge. So.
Yeah.
But I'm going to sign out, guys. Thanks again for watching, and Tabs, take it away.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye, Shane.
Bye. So yes, if in case you missed it, the Writhing Dark Extended is your last chance to get anything because Shane is not printing them anymore. So they're going to be extremely limited edition.
Yeah, even the unlimited edition is now a limited edition.
It's a slightly less limited edition.
Yeah.
But the reason I had Nate on was to talk about the Sherlock Holmes project, and
Indeed.
Yeah, and he's going to be doing some guest artwork for me. Shane's going to be doing a deck. You haven't seen any artwork, of course, because he's been busy doing pairs and all that craziness.
Some other foolish game.
Right. some foolish game that Nate did like 30,000 pictures for.
Only 20.
Only 20 when it's supposed to be 10.
Right.
I just love if you haven't got the pairs update with all the decks, I just loved it. Was like, here's my deck, here's my deck, here's Nate's deck.
Shane will look back at it too.
Yeah.
Posted.
Yes. The multiple 7s and multiple 3s and multiple 9s, and yeah. It looks beautiful though, Nate. I love it.
Thank you.
I want prints of everything now.
Oh good. That'll be coming, I'm sure.
Yay. Awesome. But yeah, we want to talk about Sherlock. I'm doing my own project. When we were talking about Start Studios, they were like, "What project do you want to do? Maybe we could do your own project." And I was like, "Sherlock Holmes," because I love Sherlock Holmes, as anybody can tell you. When I first met Shane back in March of last year, he was showing me the Cthulhu stuff, and I was like, "So do Sherlock Holmes." He's like, "I don't know." Like, then when I met James Ernest and he was talking about pairs, I'm like, "So do a Sherlock Holmes deck?" And he's like, "I don't know." Like,
How did you sway them?
I didn't.
She
Until
just
my
started
project.
And then was like, "You're gonna do this for me."
Right. Guess what we're doing? Sherlock Holmes. But I am a huge Sherlockian. I have been since I was 9. And I love all the stuff that people have done previously, but I was just like, I need to do my own thing because Sherlock Holmes. So we're doing a really fun deck that Nate's going to help with some guest art on, that is Sherlock as an otter. And if you don't know why, then, Google Benedict Cumberbatch otter. And Watson is a hedgehog. So how do you feel about drawing an otter and a hedgehog, Nate?
Well, I feel pretty good about it already. I mean, you're clearly playing to my strengths here. Growing up drawing Disney and all that.
Right.
Doing anthropomorphic characters is sort of my little. It's my niche. So this is going to be fun. I just had a lot of fun looking up like Sherlock Otter, and that has turned up quite a bit of interesting stuff on Google search.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them have the scarf and the funny hair like Benedict, but there were a couple who tried less modern BBC versions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you seen? There's a great artist that does the person holding the otter. So it's Benedict holding an otter with a little scarf. It's so cute. And then there's like Watson with a hedgehog on his head. It's a whole thing, guys.
So what made you want to do this deck?
I really love all of the playing card Kickstarters that I've been involved in. Like before I met Shane, it's been like I didn't even think about playing cards. I had a couple decks. Everybody has a couple decks at their house, I think. I had a Doctor Who one that's just pictures, and it's like, okay, that's nice, whatever. We like playing Canasta, so we need like 4 decks to play. But then, I started, with the Cthulhu Project, and I was like, this is art. This is gorgeous. This is beautiful. This is a great idea, and it's cheap, Whenever I buy art from artists that I love, it's just like, oh, I love you, but why did I just spend $80? So, and I really wanted to do my version of Sherlock Holmes, which is closer to the original stories, and I wanted to do something fun and silly for the fans that love the otter hedgehog nonsense, and do the whole cast as animals. So Lucian and I actually had a good long hangout where we were like, so what is this character? What animal are they? And it was super fun. So
It was a lot of fun.
Irene Lestrade.
Lestrade is a collie.
Yep.
He's got this like long face, and just looks really down in the dumps. And I wanted to put like an empty donut box next to him, because there's that great scene in the BBC one where he's like eating a donut. But yeah, and Irene is a minx, which I thought would go really well with the otter. Moriarty is a rabbit, and he looks freaking adorable. He's got like little.
You didn't go with the whole Moriarty thing.
No, I wanted him to be like adorable, and like you couldn't think that he was evil, but look evil. So, yeah. He's got like little
there's bombs next to him.
Yes, there's bombs, and he's on a phone, and he looks really angry. And so yeah, that deck is the main art is done by my friend Mindy, who did all of my children's books, and she's got this adorable, very cute style. And I was like, I need somebody to do guest art. I'm gonna get Nate because he's got adorable cute too.
Oh, so I shouldn't do any of the dark ones where the otter's like shooting up fish guts or something like that.
It's a 7% solution of fish guts.
Right. It's 5%.
Lightweight.
Yes. But it was fun too to I've been involved in so many playing card Kickstarters. It's also fun to put one together and do stuff that I kind of felt was missing. So I have an all the things that is actually going to be all the things, that kind of reward level that I thought was always missing, because it's always get all the things, but no, not this thing, which always drives me crazy. And plus, I just want Shane to draw Sherlock Holmes a lot for me. I figured other people would too.
So is that all the things level going to work? As things are unlocked, that gets added on?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And it's really cool too because I've got a bunch of stuff that isn't playing cards that are going to be stretch goals. So we're actually going to do a pairs deck. and we're going to do some other cool stuff that is still in works that are other games. So if you guys are really tired of playing cards, which you might be, I don't know, there'll be other stuff to get. But I also have like a dice only reward level for those folks who collect dice, and a coin only level for those people who collect coins. So
that's nice. I think that'll be cool
for everyone.
Yeah, and there's going to be early birds because I know the Waywarders love their early birds. So be there at 12 p.m. Pacific on the 22nd.
Nice. So that's when it starts?
Yes.
All right.
So unfortunately, that's 3 a.m. in Australia.
I'm sorry, Janelle and Tiffany and Jacqueline and
Yeah.
So many.
Yes. I'm very sorry. But yeah, I'm very excited about doing my own Kickstarter, and the cool thing is Shane only has to draw art for this one. I'm going to do everything else, so it'll be interesting to see how that works, building Shane from doing everything himself to this company idea, and see if that's doable.
You think he'll have it, or he'll be able to handle that?
I think he can do just art. I think that's doable. I don't know. He draws all the things. And it's really cool too. I also have a bunch of Sherlockians involved. Like the whole thing about the public copyright debate was kind of spearheaded by my friend Leslie Klinger, who he calls himself the world's first consulting Sherlockian because he worked on the Robert Downey Jr. movies as a consultant, and so he's been a Sherlockian for much longer than I have. And he's going to come in, and we're going to do, one of the stretch goals is to do an ebook for everyone with essays from some geeks and Sherlockians about why we love Sherlock Holmes. So he's going to come in and do that. And then I've got Bonnie Burton, who's really known in the geek community, and Jenna Bush, who's also really known well in the geek community. Yeah. A couple of authors, and my friend is doing her PhD thesis on Doyle, so she's going to come in and write stuff too. So I'm trying to get as many people in on the Kickstarter as possible.
Sounds complicated.
It's a lot of coordinating. It was a lot of emails like, do you like Sherlock Holmes? Good. Do the thing for me. I will give you some monies.
That always helps change people's opinions too.
Yes. How about some monies? I believe in paying people monies if they're doing something cool.
It's the grown-up version of Scooby Snacks.
It totally is. But yeah, so I totally forgot though. If you guys want to share the YouTube link, I am going to give away one of the decks that we unlock. So the very first deck, that's all we do, you'll get that deck. But if we get more decks, you will get those. So if you share it with the hashtag, what is it, Lucian?
IDBT podcast.
Right, I'd back that podcast. Share it on YouTube or on Facebook publicly or Twitter publicly. That we can get you entered to win a deck, a free deck, and maybe even I'll put a paw print on it or something if it's the animal one. I gotta go find an otter. Give me a paw print.
Right, because those are very common in the wilds of Los Angeles.
I know, right? I'm sure they commute.
Seattle, they've got a little one that you can make a paper rubbing of at the zoo.
Oh, that's perfect. I'll do that then. I'll go visit Tro.
Plane ride ticket.
It's totally worth it. I'll go visit Tro and get a rubbing.
I love this plan already. Let's do it.
Yes. So I don't know. It's kind of daunting to launch a Kickstarter, and I think that's kind of a cool thing to talk about, just in general, to be that person who, there's so much pre-stuff that backers don't get to see. It's a lot of conversations, and I've been on Skype and I've emailed Nate and do you want to do a thing? Do a thing, and all these other people, and I'm trying to get some licensing stuff together, so then you have to kind of learn licensing, you have to think about taxes, and it's a lot of stuff. And I've done one Kickstarter before, but it was really small, just me. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It's like running a business.
How long is it going to run for?
28 days, so 4 weeks exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So Thursday to Thursday, basically. I think it's the 19th, June 19th it ends.
All right. Well, I will be pledging.
Ah, thanks. I got one, guys.
Boom. Well, and I'm also thunderclapping, if that's
Right.
okay.
Yes, thunderclapping.
Sure.
It's a thing now.
We can make it.
We're making it a word. More cards. All the cards, Andrew says.
We're up to 97. We only need 3 more
Yay.
people to thunderclap.
Yeah, it was really fun. I came into work today, and everyone I work with individually was like, "What's thunderclap? Explain this to me." I'm like, so just push that button. Click that thing, authorize it, and you're done. They're like, "Okay, I can do that." I love explaining things to not computer people.
Yes, that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, I'm trying to look at the thunderclap here. So what's the goal of the Kickstarter going to be?
The initial goal is 20,000, and that pays for printing the first deck and paying the artist, and which is Shane, and printing and publishing and all that stuff. The other cool thing is with the Wayward Backer group, there's so many people that have experience that I was like, Tro, can you help me with my budget? Because she does a really good job with hers, and it's nice to have that support system with the Wayward Backer group, because I can't math. My favorite story about writers can't math was I was in my college senior writing class, and the professor's like, okay, break yourself into 4 groups. She came back like 15 minutes later, and we were still like, yo, you go over there, and wait, we're not even. She's like, why didn't you just count off? We're like, oh.
Right, that's so easy.
We're writers, we don't math. Yes, but it was super fun, and I am very much looking forward to doing Sherlock.
Should be interesting.
And the cool thing is we talked to Jackson about it, so he knows, and he's all cool. And it was really, really weird timing for him was the court case came after he had already launched his playing card deck. So his is authorized by the Doyle estate, and he had this agreement that his was going to be the only one for 5 years. And then the court case came down and is like, oh, Sherlock Holmes is public domain except for these last 10 stories. And there's a canon of 60 stories. So 50 stories are now free and clear. But kind of, it's weird lawyer stuff that I don't really understand. But we're like, so we want to do a Sherlock deck because Tabs has wanted to do one for a long time. Is that okay? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. What am I going to do?
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got, he went through all the steps of getting the Doyle estate involved, which is really cool, but then you have to get them approve everything. So it's a lot more work. So as long as you don't reference the last 10 stories, which are not super well known anyway, I don't think I would ever use them. The only cool thing is in one of the last stories, Sherlock Holmes basically works for the government before the start of World War I. So he's kind of a spy for a case, which is kind of cool. But those aren't very well known.
Huh.
Andrew just posted spoilers. Sorry.
Oh,
Spoilers for
I haven't read it.
spoilers for something that's been out for almost 100 years.
I haven't gotten around to it yet.
That was like when I was posting about Much Ado About Nothing, and people were like, spoilers. I'm like, 600 years, guys.
Yeah. That's Shakespeare.
There's statute of limitations on those, I think.
I think so. They all get married at the end. Spoiler alert.
What?
The boat stinks. Oh.
Some lady got really mad at me when that movie first came out. I was like, the boat stinks. She's like, what? Why did you spoil me? I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's history.
Because you don't know history. That's why I spoiled you.
There's another spoiler alert. The South loses.
Guess what?
There are some in the South that would disagree with you.
That's true.
Well.
Spoiler alert, we're not a colony anymore.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Okay,
This
that's
went off
too
the
far,
rails.
Tabs. Too
Sorry,
far.
Andrew.
Too
Sorry,
soon.
Andrew.
Too soon.
Too soon. Hashtag too soon. Well, it's almost 4 o'clock, and I think that's pretty much all we had to do. Does anybody want to say any last parting words before we go?
Everyone who's watching, go to Thunderclap and
Yes.
register for Sherlock Holmes.
Yay.
I would like to throw out one more Kickstarter shout out that I wasn't able to do before because I had a child running in the room,
Oh.
and that is for Dungeon Dice Guilds, the expansion for the popular Dungeon Dice that just launched a couple days ago, and it's doing really well. And if you like dice, I mean, who doesn't like dice?
Yeah. They do good stuff, so definitely back that.
It's by Potluck Games.
Hmm.
Nice.
For some reason, I thought that was in the process of launching, but I now have to go look at Kickstarter.
It's been up for 2 days now.
Nice. Okay. Sorry, guys. We gotta go. I gotta go look at Kickstarter.
Well, did you want to do the giveaway before we wrapped up?
Yeah. Give me a name. Lucian
right.
has all the names.
I'm going to generate this random number, and the winner is Katie.
Yay, Katie!
Yay.
I think she won a coin the first one, too.
She did. She's very lucky.
Yeah. This is crazy. All right.
Katie, you get a free deck.
All right. I'll let her know, because she might be
Yes.
watching. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, well,
Anyways.
thank you, everybody. Join us next week for more. It will be after the Kickstarter launches. Go, Katie.
It's with a Y.
Andrew.
Yeah, it's Katy.
He's holding up a sign for those on the audio podcast. But thank you, Nate, for joining us and for drawing cute otters.
Oh, yes. Well, you'll see.
Yes, I can't wait to see.
I want dark otters.
Good.
Dark otter. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.